Hello there, Star Wars fans, and welcome to another RebelScum.com video, and today we are talking about the toys of The Mandalorian. Oh, man, I've been looking forward to doing a video about Mando toys, and really, we could do several videos about Mando toys, especially because it exploded into so many toy lines when it came out. In front of me here, I only have really 3 toy lines. We have Black Series, we've got Retro, and we've got Vintage Collection figures. But The Mandalorian, just as soon as it came out, there wasn't a whole lot of merch yet. We had 2 figures at the launch of The Mandalorian when the show came out, and that was the first The Mandalorian figure on the Black Series black box, number 94. Technically, the first would be the white box version, but the figure itself is exactly the same. And then we also had the Off-World Jawa released in that same wave. And then later that winter season for sales for toy releases, we got some more supporting figures. And then early into 2020, we just got way more figures, some more expansionary lines, and well, a bunch of other stuff too. So let's get right into it. So like I said, it started off with some Black Series figures, and then eventually we got some VC figures. It took a little while to get some VC. Here we have the VC, The Mandalorian, right over here. The figure is awesome and really cool, fully articulated 3 3/4 scale figure. And very interesting that this was around that time, the year of 2019, when we had a new Triple Force Friday, but we didn't have any specific toy lines, meaning usually when there's a new movie coming out, it has its own toy line. And that was the case from Star Wars all the way up through Star Wars Solo, a Star Wars story. After that, come season 9, there is no toy line for Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. There is no toy line for Star Wars The Mandalorian, and there is no toy line for Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which were the big 3 things coming out that season. We had The Mandalorian coming to TV on Disney Plus. We had Rise of Skywalker coming to theaters as the final chapter of the Skywalker saga. And then we had Jedi Fallen Order coming out on console for video game players and other Star Wars fans alike. So it was kind of an interesting time that we didn't get just a named toy line for these characters. Now, of course, there's plenty of figures for The Mandalorian, but there is no staple The Mandalorian toy line or special card back or box packaging. Now, of course, there's Mandalorian branded figures in... well, there went Moff Gideon. He's gone now. Of course, there's Mandalorian branded packages for Phase 4 of Star Wars The Black Series, but that's not specifically a The Mandalorian toy line so much as it is a subline within the Star Wars Black Series packaging. Same with the credit collection, which recently got announced for a Wave 2 coming out. I think it's 2022 is when Wave 2 comes out. Which is going to be really cool because we're getting 5 more figures aside from the first 5 we got last winter, which were really cool. We have the Retro line, which is the vintage style, like classic Star Wars toys back in the 70s and early 80s. And then, of course, we got the Imperial Death Trooper re-released with its popularity in The Mandalorian on the archive card. So that's really cool to see that we got Death Troopers again. We're also starting to see characters like Death Troopers and Shore Troopers now being rebranded on Vintage Collection card in future waves on the carbonized releases of the Mandalorian action figures. Now, the Death Trooper had already been released as a carbonized figure. However, when I said future waves, I was specifically mentioning the Scarif Trooper or Shore Trooper, which is coming out as a carbonized figure on Mandalorian card for the Vintage Collection. There have been other really cool figures. We got our second deluxe figure in the Black Series line over here. We have Paz Vizsla D, number 2 of the Phase 3 packaging. We got a first release here. This was really a big deal. This came out earlier this year in 2021. Bo-Katan's first action figure was released in the Black Series, The Mandalorian Phase 4 packaging. And then that opened the door for other stuff. So supposedly we might be getting a Bo-Katan here in the Vintage Collection sometime soon, fingers crossed. but we also got our second Bo-Katan figure already. If you haven't watched it yet, check out our Bo-Katan review video of the Mission Fleet Bo-Katan with the Gauntlet Fighter. That did come with the second Bo-Katan figure in the 2-inch line. And of course, there's been plenty of other The Mandalorian action figures in the Mission Fleet toy line. We also have Queel, we also have Mando, multiple versions of Mando, Cara Dune, IG-11, Troopers, all kinds of stuff. We've got a Blurg, we've got speeder bikes. It's a really cool and awesome line. And very soon, I haven't seen one yet, but very soon we're also going to be seeing the Razor Crest in the Mission Fleet line, not to mention the upcoming crowdfunded HasLab Razor Crest for the 3 3/4 scale, the Vintage Collection line, coming sometime early 2022. Fingers crossed that it actually is coming early 2022 because, well, who knows if it might get delayed further with all the issues with shipping and getting action figures and things over here to the States lately. So, a lot of really cool figures. Most of the figures released for The Mandalorian, since they've been released in such high quality lines such as Vintage Collection and Black Series, are all fully articulated action figures, with the exception of the Retro line, which is 5 POA by design because the classic toys were 5 POA, meaning 5 points of articulation. And then the, the Mission Fleet line, those figures aren't quite 5 POA, but they have a little bit more articulation than that, which is really nice. And actually some pretty cool detail for such a kiddie line. So there you have it, guys. There's been so many cool figures. There are more figures to come. Even Hasbro has said themselves that they do have pipeline figures in the works, such as the Dark Trooper that was previously a Legends character, but brought back into canon with The Mandalorian Season 2. So hopefully we'll see that here very, very soon. I'm very much looking forward to it. And there are so many other cool figures available. Remnant Stormtroopers, the Incinerator Troopers in both 3 3/4 and 6-inch scale. Hopefully some of the other troopers we saw in that series are going to be making it to the toy line. I think the only one, aside from the Dark Trooper, that doesn't have an action figure either announced yet or in the works is the Mortar Trooper seen in Season 2 of The Mandalorian. Everything else is a Remnant Trooper, a Stormtrooper, Death Trooper, Scarif Troopers we saw a good amount of. So, oh, nope, there is one more. Transport Trooper. Almost forgot about the Transport Trooper. Hopefully there's a figure of that coming soon as well in both 3 3/4 scale and 6-inch scale. What do you guys want to see in the future of The Mandalorian? Now, in Black Series, we did get the Biker Scout with the speeder bike with the child in the satchel. Of course, I don't have that in front of me right this second, but that's a really cool piece. But what other kind of vehicles or playsets could we get in 3 3/4 scale? We have the Troop Transport from the design of The Mandalorian, which is a more vintage style toy design versus the canonical design that we saw early on in Rebels. So we saw that piece did see some design changes over the years, of course. I kind of want to see the Troop Transport with the rear guns that Greef Karga, Cara Dune were escaping in Season 2 of The Mandalorian. I would love to see that. I would love to see the Troop Transport from Season 2 of The Mandalorian that was obviously the predecessor to the one that the First Order uses in The Force Awakens. I thought that was a really cool thing to see in The Mandalorian. So getting a toy of that in Vintage Collection I think would be really neat. I could see Hasbro doing something really cool with that in Mission Fleet as well. But what do you guys think? Let us know in the comments. What are some characters you'd love to see? What's maybe your favorite character from the various releases of The Mandalorian characters that you really like? What's your favorite one? It can be The Mandalorian. Don't worry. That's an okay answer. My favorite figure of the Mandalorian toy line, and it's not even in front of me right now, is the credit collection release of The Mandalorian. Not the new one that's coming out, the one that was already released. Mostly because I love the armor design in itself, but I also love the color palette of the credit collection of The Mandalorian even more. So that's my favorite one specifically, my absolute favorite figure from the various The Mandalorian toy lines. So what's yours? Let us know in the comments. And what are some things you're looking forward to seeing that maybe I didn't mention from The Mandalorian that you're just like, come on, can we please get a figure of this? I'm really excited about it. In whichever scale, it doesn't matter. Mission Fleet, 3 3/4 scale, 6-inch scale, what are you most excited about? let us know. Please like and subscribe. Make sure you're going to the forums and stuff. Go to rebelscum.com for more news and daily posts of all kinds of new content. Just check it out. Stay tuned for more. We'll see you guys later. We'll see you another time. May the force be with all of you, you rebel scum.